And welcome back, fam, to another edition of the Armenian Council for Truth in Journalism. Cheers as we move slowly toward the apocalypse of martial law. I am your host, Thaddeus Preston, aka Nick Way. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe on Facebook, Twitter at the ACTJ, YouTube when eventually we come back, Lou Starsky, Twitch. We're doing a D Live. We're going to try to get the Rumble thing going. If BitChute can get their shit together and get their live streaming application up and running, we'll even be live on there because we want to spread the word and spit hot fire for you. We're giving you a kind of a short, quick, and abbreviated episode tonight ahead of what we hopefully will have a very special guest tomorrow night. So,
is the fire crackling enough for you this time around? Is that better?
Yeah, I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Okay. You get that, and you get that nice lighting too.
It feels amazing. I can just put my hands up.
It's fantastic right now. The only problem is the kids just brought in a bunch of pine. I've got some pine and I've got some cedar, and they only brought in pine, and it's problematic because the pine just goes up really quickly.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna have to talk to them about that.
Yeah,
and sort that out.
Not the best, though. It does smell amazing unless it's dried up pine.
Yeah, well, you know, you want it kind of dry because then it burns quicker. But
it burns quicker, right?
About
but
this,
then, yeah, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've dealt with evergreens. Back where we come from, in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you burn down there? What do you burn a lot of down
there? We don't burn much of anything because it's not cold as balls this time of year. Yeah. There's very few places with fireplaces. It's funny when you go to places that have a fireplace in the middle of December when it's like the high is 70 and the low is like 50, and it's just like having lived out here now for like almost 20 years now, where like
time flies, Dad.
Yeah, that's very evident.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
I guess we will do a little promo. We've got Nurse Erin Marie Olszewski. She's coming on the program tomorrow night. I'm fairly excited about that. She's a whistleblower. She was an epicenter nurse at Elmhurst Hospital in New York City, and she witnessed a lot of horrible shit, quite frankly, and she was able to document it, and she suffered the consequences of telling the truth for sure. But that's why she'll be right at home here.
Sounds like fake news. Sounds like fake news to me.
Yep.
I got my liberal hat on, so everything that doesn't make sense to me is fake news.
That's a big shout out to Casey. She gave me this shirt when I was in Atlanta. She felt like I needed it.
Nice.
Yeah, no, right. Our globe-trotting correspondent, Sean.
I'm trying, man. I'm worn out. I'm tired. But, you got to keep going.
You got to. We need you out there, man. We need you out there spreading the word. We need you out there giving a shine. Because I'm an attention whore. So
yeah. So whatever I can do to really
you can do to get me more attention.
To get you more attention.
It'd be greatly appreciated.
Do you prefer heart reacts or care reacts?
Heart reacts.
Yeah.
I go with
care is like, seems too much touchy.
That's kind of like being friend zone.
I think the other way around. I think I like the caring because it's less, it's like less gender. It's almost like the love kind of has like a sexual innuendo. Like you can't love react a dude as much as you can a care react. I think.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess I give a thumbs up or a laughing.
Ooh, see, when you give me the thumbs up, I take it as a personal insult.
Yeah. X-nay, the thumbs
like,
up.
You start giving me a thumbs up. What's next? You're gonna ask me if I have sheets on my mattress?
I guess. Do you have sheets on your mattress? And do you use those sheets to terrorize black people at night?
Yikes.
Wow.
It's not always.
I was hoping that
you really are in a dark place in your mind, aren't you?
I am. After last night, Sean.
Yes, COVID.
I am. And the COVID having been close to death.
But I do want to say this about the guests is it's super exciting because we do have someone that was in the front lines and is the people that see the thing that is going on is people want to just pick and choose who to glorify in these positions. So whether you're so-called expert, you have to be an expert that's paid by the corporations. But here we have someone who's earnestly in this position. So none of us are in that position. So we're just talking from a place that we don't really, really have a leg to stand on, but who we're bringing on tomorrow does. And no matter what you believe, you still should listen to her because she's still in that position. That's all I wanted to say about her.
Well, and then look at the bright side. With any luck, if the conversation goes well, I'm sure this broadcast will be banned on Facebook as a result. So
a badge of honor.
That's really what we're going for at some point.
Right about the time our Facebook ban, our YouTube ban ends, and our Facebook ban will kick in, right?
Then we'll get popped with that, and then they'll kick the YouTube one back. And
that's what I was. That's why I was kind of making the statement, right? Like, D Live is great. Rumble, we're going to explore. Parlor is a little bit like too much of an anal exam. BitChute is what I'm much more bullish on. But here's the deal: BitChute does not currently have a mechanism for live streaming as of yet. Yeah. So
working on it.
Yeah, they're working on it, and they should, because this is the apt opportunity to work on it.
Yeah, Odyssey.
Absolutely.
See, Odyssey and D Live, we need a lot of support. We're going to need people to follow, and we have to hit certain thresholds to then be allowed to use that feature. But I think that's something that we can definitely do.
I think that's a very underused phrase, which we should really try to utilize more often. Hitting the threshold.
Hitting the threshold that allows us to not stand in bread lines. We hit the threshold.
Whatever you want
Mexico,
to talk
because
about,
we don't have to stand in bread lines, right?
It's just about hitting the threshold.
Yes.
It's a very powerful set of words right there.
So come on back tomorrow, guys. Tune in and get educated and really listen to another perspective here, man. For someone who's really been dealing with this shit on the front lines. I've been kind of doing my research and stuff like that, and I've been looking. I'm a guy that likes to look at the original source material, read original source material, and then listen to the people who want to debunk. And so far, the people who are trying to debunk, and you got to think, right? She can't. Her claim to fame came during like this groundbreaking documentary that was put on YouTube a while ago. My daughter told me about it, like early in the summer, and even that convinced her that like it was BS. But of course, dear old dad had a little bit more to do with it because I was ranting on the couch drunk about how this was all kind of a little overkill.
Yeah.
And so, but the debunkings I'm seeing are just like assassinating her character, but not necessarily attacking in great detail what she was alleging.
Well, it's hard to attack what she was alleging because most of it was recorded on video. It's very difficult.
Right. That's the big thing. And the second biggest thing is her biggest contention, which the fact is like you're intubating motherfuckers just like willy-nilly, turned out to be true. Like you don't want to do that. Someone coming in who just can't, who's having trouble breathing, you don't stuff a tube down their throat. It's a bad fucking idea. And so and now we're learning this shit.
Well, but that's the reality with that too, is it's only a bad fucking idea if you're not getting paid close to $70,000 to do it.
Yeah. There was also, and to ignore perverse incentives. Well, they're a public hospital and they're helping the most unfortunate. So they deserve all the money they're getting. But you don't think that creates a perverse incentive?
It's an incredibly perverse incentive. And that's the reality, is that there's a lot of people that were killed in these situations that nobody cares about. I mean, how many homeless you think had this happen to them and everything else, where they don't have any family and they can just hide the death? They roll it into the numbers so that they can continue to scare us into submission.
And there's a news scandal that I heard is that everybody in the last 4 months that were entering these care facilities immediately, if you were over 60 years old, you immediately got put on a do not resuscitate without addressing it with the family. And so there was a lot of people that were, that had dementia or this, that, and the other that never really asked to be put on do not resuscitate, which means like, it's a DNR bracelet that you get. And that means if something happens to you, they don't resuscitate you. And they're just basically giving it to everybody coming into these care facilities without even notifying that there's a doctor that's just signing off on this. And I think that's something that's scary. It seems like they're almost like trying to create these deaths, and they're definitely not trying to prevent them, especially with the older people.
No.
Yeah, it's all in all, it's a gross situation, and there's going to be. I mean, people may be skeptical. There's going to be hell to pay for the fuckery that has taken place over the course of 2020. You mark my words.
Yes.
Whether you like it, whether it skews one way or the other, there will be hell to pay for numerous things that transpired this year. There will be a reckoning. There will be an economic reckoning. There will be a societal reckoning. There will be institutional reckoning in the form of the fact that institutions are going to find it very hard to regain the trust that they once basically enjoyed, pretty much undeserved, over the last 100 years.
Are you implying that the shit is going to hit the threshold?
I'm not implying that shit's going to hit the threshold at any point. I'm just saying. Remember, we were discussing this in the pre-show. This is the time of year where I actually get a lot more optimistic and I geek out. So our favorite person, Bill Gates, does this thing every year. Billy Boy. He does this thing every year where he goes on vacation for 2 weeks. And he takes like a bunch of books and he reads about a subject and he thinks, in his $185 million mansion.
Yeah, sure he does.
Or I don't know. I don't think he's trying to build like a hydrogen fueled yacht.
At this point, with everything we know about him, he's literally Satan.
Yeah, he already did that. And he
Yes, I did just say that. And if Billy Boy has a problem with it, I guess he can have me murdered.
He can have you murdered eventually. So no, let me stick with something, right? I have a point here. We know Bill Gates kind of sucks. But I took that as something to emulate when I have downtime. And so every year when I go, because I have the privilege of having a winter break from work, I get into a subject matter, right? So in 2019, the big thing I studied was, of course, history, activism, and its futility. I also studied AI and machine learning. I took a lot of trips. I listened to a lot of podcasts and educational programs and videos, and I actually was, doing, code snippets and stuff and trying to figure out, well, how does this work? Because this is the disruptive technology that is going to allow these blood-sucking, globalists to institute the reset, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so I would implore people during any downtime or trips or whatever, study something that's going to help you come out of the other end of what is about to happen and prosper.
What is downtime?
For those of us who have rat race careers and shit like that, it's vacation.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Right.
I keep trying to figure that out because even when I have downtime, I don't feel like I'm very down.
Here's the deal. I can do downtime for the first 4 or 5 days of it, but then that's when I get into I need to study something or I need to learn a new skill or I'm 1 year I got all about brewing beer. Another year I just read about how what is Jay talking shit about?
Jay's always talking shit. Jay's always talking shit.
Then 1 year I studied the financial crisis and read a lot of books about that. And I just find that downtime necessary and preferable to me. Just, I need it. Or, creating a defensive firing position because the world.
I'd say, or you go bald, but.
I'm trying here.
Thinking about shaving it off.
Yeah, you're gonna. You're gonna be like,
too.
Are you gonna shave your head loose so that nobody can grab your hair because nobody's gonna make you their bitch?
Not in the FEMA camp.
Do you not remember that? Do you not remember that when Alex Jones said that a couple of years ago when he shaved his head and then he was on air and he's all, "I'm shaving my head because nobody's gonna grab me by my hair and make me their bitch."
I do kind of remember that, but that's
very entertaining.
Yeah, you don't want anyone to rape you in the FEMA camp, so you definitely don't want to give them things to grab to rape you in the FEMA camp.
Yeah. How bad do we think rape's gonna be in the FEMA camp?
It could be.
Is it the robot one or is it the other people one?
Oh, there's.
I'm talking to people one, and generally speaking, I think.
Oh, geez, those sick fuckers are gonna have a robot that goes around and rapes us.
Dude, that is See, that's fucked up, man. That's a fucked up. I'd rather the robot go around and just murder people indiscriminately.
Yeah, but that's not what it's
great
going to
dudes.
do. We're going to be in the FEMA camps, and they're going to do that for compliance. Oh
I think
God!
the- I think
Rape one good guy or whatever. Or, I don't know.
I think the FEMA camps are going to get great 5G coverage.
Starlink at the FEMA camps is going to be amazing.
You know what? It would be kind of fun is to like wear a FEMA shirt and go to these different protests.
Dude, can you get someone to get on that?
I need a CIA.
Can you imagine you just going up to people and you're like, "Hi," and they're seeing your shirt? Don't ever mention FEMA. You just watch their reaction.
I need that windbreaker. It's kind of funny, like how
Start asking them if they had a COVID test in the last 14 days.
have a bunch
and then here's the deal. And then
probably get killed.
Have a notepad and make some notes, and then kind of like signal over some people.
have a swab, have a bunch of swabs sticking out your back pocket.
It would be really funny. I'm sure the footage would be great, but I would probably also die in the process.
Yeah. People don't take a joke good like that anymore. People don't like joking like that anymore.
No,
I don't even really like joking like that anymore. I'm just a very dark person.
Yeah, extremely dark. I would add extremely
it's
dark.
interesting to me. Listen to this, guys. It's interesting to me that in 2009, when Alex Jones was talking about FEMA camps, and I was living in Georgia, so you could see all the FEMA camp preparation and the big coffins and I would float the idea to people to see what they thought, be like, isn't that strange that they're preparing for something like that or seemingly preparing for something like that? And they would be like, no, that's impossible. And then if you started to talk immediately after about the Japanese internment camps, they would have such a disassociation between those two things. Like it could only happen to them in that time frame and never again in the future. To me,
doesn't it seem like 2020 is all about dissociating?
Oh yeah.
I mean, isn't that kind of the goal of everything that we've seen happen here, where they almost want to have you dissociate from reality? And they want you to live this virtual existence that they've laid out for you.
Cyberpunk.
Where you
cyberpunk.
Yeah,
your check and your stimulus check. You're waiting for your stimulus check. You're rooting for your politician to give you your stimulus check.
I never got the $1,200 one, so I don't assume I'm going to get the $600 one, but did they really go down to $600?
Dude, yeah, no. And someone did the math, right? If you give every man, woman, and child in the United States, assuming you believe the number of 350 million people, that's like only $2 billion of the 900 billion they're going to hand out. Right? So you're just like, wait, what? they're not even trying anymore, right?
Because nobody gives a fuck. It's all about COVID. You can't talk to somebody about what.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, even when we talk about those numbers and what gets handed out, if you're running a small business and you get $1,200, that doesn't do jack shit for you at all.
No, I don't. No. And here's the deal: the PPP loans and the PPP loans are just basically backdoor fascism, right? Because the state is telling you how many people you need to maintain on roster. The state is maintaining these things. And what other stipulations? Like it's like this: the terms of the deal have changed. Pray I don't alter them further. That's literally what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Then it's going to be like healthcare, or are you instituting Green New Deal things? Are you attacking systemic racism?
I remember all the stuff in the paperwork for the PPP loan, back when it originally started. And it was like, you start to see all these weird backdoor things that they do when it comes to property and everything else, where basically the federal government is taking over a lot of private enterprise, because they know they're not going to be able to pay these loans back. And so then that'll trigger this weird situation where they come for those assets.
Welcome to the IMF, baby.
Yeah, I mean it's
IMF, BIS, and World Bank.
What they do to real.
This is why there's going to be, at some point, without something giving, there's going to be no option except to stop complying, and you can take that as far as you want, and that's probably as far as I can say on any public platform.
You know what?
I'm just letting you know, man. This is where we stand as of today, man.
You think they're not going to confiscate all of that, Thad?
Because I know some crypto thugs, man. No. You can't fuck with math, bro.
Yeah,
But
what-
yeah, you're
but
right.
as-
Like
but
for those
as-
of us, for those of
yeah.
us that have like Coinbase accounts, yeah, we're gonna get fucked. But like for those people who are like smart enough to like keep it off chain,
Mm.
then yeah,
Yeah.
it's you can yeah, no, don't worry about it.
So you
This is what
so
made
you-
this dangerous.
I didn't know until
I'm
this
not convinced there's
small businesses.
real inherent value in it. Explain to me the real
There,
inherent value.
no. It
Well,
has
there is
about,
value
it
behind
has
it.
just amount. It has just amount of oh, sorry. It has just as much inherent value as the dollar,
It was a
or a
fiat
special
currency,
drawing
yes.
unit,
Yeah, as
or
a fiat. But it
it's
might
a
not
fiat,
have
it's
as
a
much.
fiat device.
But
No,
it
it's
might
actually
not
better
have as
because-
much value as like a an AK-47. Right?
No, no. A
No,
gold
no,
plated, a gold plated AK-47. Driving through the streets of Mogadishu in
Yeah.
a freaking Cadillac, blasting like James Brown.
You will
is
always
definitely
have
going to be
more
worth
value.
more than
Always
than
has
Bitcoin.
more value than cryptocurrency. Okay.
no, definitely. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we could clear that up. It's always
I
good to
didn't-
verify something on this show. That is how we started. We were
Yeah.
put here to verify
and we should
truth.
verify.
in
And I will
journalism.
verify this because I just saw this is that in all the other countries, the governments, the socialist governments already that are established in these other places were still paying like the full payroll or up to like 80% in most of the places for the employees for all of the small businesses, where we had nothing like that set up where the government was paying the
Well,
payroll.
here's the deal. Let me give you some reality about finance. Paying enterprises that are failing because A, they probably were going to fail. B, you've destroyed the economy, so they're going to fail. Gets you a lost decade like the Japanese,
Yeah.
where you have zombie companies.
Yeah, I mean
Where you literally have zombie
yeah.
companies.
if we want to talk
Oh, really? Okay, that's a good one, Jay.
That
That's a
is
good
good. That is good. It's because of the shirt.
one.
It looks like the squiggles.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it looks like.
It's Charlie Brown
but what I
all
was going
grown
to say
up.
is that at some point we really need to come to terms with what we've lost as a result of this Chinese virus, as a result of everything
China.
that's been done to us. And there's you can only cry about the spilled milk for so long. So whatever happens moving forward, whether we go into all-out war, limited revolution, civil war, or if everything just goes along super peacefully, the way some of my friends think it will, we're going to have to figure it out and stop crying about what's happened and look forward to the future and
Yes.
do the best we can.
That's what I'm talking about. See, and that's a good note to end it on, man.
Right.
Again, we told you this is going to be a very abbreviated episode, and Sean ended on a positive note.
It's not so dark anymore.
I know,
Quick,
not so dark.
Quick, cut it before I go negative again.
Our resident hippie Lou. What do you think?
I think good things. I don't think good things for humanity, but I think Earth will win.
Boom. What a way to end it. Like I said, guys, this darkness is going to be some bullshit for a while, and it's going to get real dark for a while. But at the other end of it, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be positive. It's going to be a bright, shining day. So with that said, that was an abbreviated version of the Armenian Council for Truth and Journalism. I was Nick Way. Don't forget, guys, to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube when we get back on YouTube, on Facebook when we eventually get back on Facebook. I guess we're on Facebook for now, but hey, tune in tomorrow night. Word.